In the next couple of slides, we will have a look at some of those very technical and very practical aspects of environmental management that in a way don't very much fit together with the argument of the first week of this module or the second week of this module, because what we are looking at here now is so technical, so practical. We're not so much talking about stakeholders or management techniques. It's about looking at what at all can be done. And of course later on the manager is the one responsible to bring together various facilities and requirements in order to these measures to be implemented. But let's just have a look at what cannot all be done and what do various, here we speak about case studies as well, cities do about managing their environment. So we said that air pollution is going to be one of the major issues, and then we need to have a look at what causes this air pollution and where can we do perhaps the most effective intervention. And here we need to speak about public transportation. So efficient public transport system is something that can tackle air pollution in urban areas the most drastically, because we have these high number of vehicles, because we have suburbanization or suburbs and urban sprawl, so cities spreading out, people will tend obviously to use cars. So in order to reduce emissions, we should introduce efficient public transport systems and safe pathways to encourage the population to walk or cycle at all. So to make the city not a highway, but something smaller scale that is livable. But here we can just have this image and think about the environmental impact of using cars. So the same amount of people using a bus, using individual cars or cycles, we can see what sort of traffic jam this would cause, which would again get into this vicious cycle of burning fuel by staying in traffic jam. So if we just look at this image, obviously should remind us that public transportation or cycling can be an option in cities that should be supported. So beyond transportation, we can think of zoning. So think about residential and so on zones that are free from factories. So removal of factories from city centers to less densely populated areas can reduce the air pollution in these densely populated areas. But we can also think of planting more trees that can improve the air quality, at least to absorb or capture some of these contaminants in the air, so flying dust particles can be intercepted. Well, what this image would show is, of course, New York Central Park, a good example of green area in the center of the city. But if we just want to have a look at and finish the point basically on air pollution, we can watch this video on Guangzhou and think about how the transportation system has been improved and what consequences this can have on environmental conditions in the city. So here's this video. The title is Guangzhou Transport and Sustainable Development. Video from YouTube again. And so let's have a look at this and think about what effect the new bus rapid transit system has on environmental conditions.
In Guangzhou, China, ITDP has been working in collaboration with the Chinese government to bring about a new cutting-edge BRT system that is revolutionizing perceptions of bus-based travel. It has the world's highest number of passenger boardings at BRT stations, the highest BRT bus frequency, the longest BRT stations, and it is the first BRT to directly connect to a metro system. Asia's highest capacity BRT system is enhancing the lives of 800,000 people a day.
在广州修建快速公交之前，这条走廊上在04年的时候已经存在着非常严重的交通拥堵。那么公交车是和小汽车拥挤在一起。
具体呢是在 ITDP 和市政院的支持之下，我们一起开始了这工作。那 ITDP 在广州快速公交发展过程当中呢，起到了不可或缺的重要作用。他们一直以来呢，提供了技术上的服务。
ITDP 呢，它派出了不少的专家，给予我们很大的帮助，像在线网的设计啊，还有这个客流的研究啊，这个发班频率的这个设定啊。
那么我们的建设周期也是非常短，创造了一个奇迹，整个的建设周期只有1年左右。
When the Guangzhou BRT opened, there was just tons of school kids that came out just to look at the system and ride on the system.
自花，我们自己有车，他都不愿意开，就非要坐公交。
I think in Guangzhou, you can see that people are proud of their city. They're absolutely proud that they have the highest capacity, highest speed bus rapid transit system in Asia.
主要是原来的话，我觉得这个交通是比较紊乱的，因为就是各种车都在抢车道。现在的话就是比原来的时间差不多，
方便咯。肯定要停下来给我们上，以前就我们老的人家就开得走，我们做不到。
快了，最主要是现在我在家里面过来这个医院，你看那个就速度快了很多。
ITDP estimates that the Guangzhou BRT will remove 250,000 tons of CO2 per year by 2030. A new BRT control center is used to control bus departures from terminals. Pedestrians make a safer connection to the BRT through crosswalks with countdowns and traffic guards during rush hours. Stations are positioned along key commercial and business areas. And you're just a ride away from popular Chinese festivals. The corridor reaches far out of the city center to bring opportunities for residents in urban villages. While also providing access for tourists to visit a more traditional area of Guangzhou.
We just opened a bike sharing system in Guangzhou. Several of our bus rapid transit stations and several of the metro stations now have bike sharing options.
In addition to the bike share program, ITDP has helped to make Guangzhou the first BRT system in China to include bike parking in its station design. ITDP has also helped to implement segregated bike lanes along the main corridor. These are some of the first bike lanes the city has built in over a decade.
肯定安全多了，不用在路边走来走去，比较好。
都可以，我住的附近经常去买菜啊。
那就是大车道是大车道，小车道是小车道，单车道有自己的道路了，就不会互相撞到了什么的了。
据我们的调查，大多数的市民对自行车这个自行车道和自行车的换乘点儿、停车场是非常肯定的，非常欢迎的。
And ITDP continues to work to promote sustainable urban development throughout the city. With public opinion positive and endorsement from key provincial and city level officials, Guangzhou's sustainable transport achievements are impressive.
让人很兴奋的是，我们的快速公交在 ITDP 的协助下，也已经从规划变成了现实。
走廊的延伸的项目，如果是我们院要继续进行这方面的设计的话，我们肯定继续和 ITDP 合作。
In China, the team at ITDP will continue to work with government agencies and local groups to cut greenhouse gas emissions, prioritize social equity, and bring world-class transportation solutions to China's cities. To learn more about how you can be part of ITDP, go to itdp.org. ITDP is grateful to the following partners for supporting its projects in China.